Hey guys, today I am doing a video on Forbidden Desert. Now, Forbidden Desert is a game made by, what is it? I don't remember. GameRight, yeah, it's made by GameRight. And GameRight's a company that makes, like, somewhat okay games. They make, like, more for, like, a younger audience of kids. But Forbidden Desert is part of their like a series of games. I think they only have two so far. They might make more, but I don't know. Um, but it's a series of games where you and your friends play as archaeologists, or you can play solo player. You dive into like an ancient city and then you like try and recover artifacts, and then get out because a lot of the ancient cities are like they have traps everywhere, or there's natural disasters going on. Like in the original. Yeah, but so in this version of the game, this is the desert that you'll be exploring. That is the sandstorm. Now, if you're wondering why there's a hand in like casting a spell, it's because I'm playing this on the box of Pathfinder: Rise of the Rune Lords. And the reason why I'm doing that is because my board game playing space got kind of crowded because I have two more videos going on right now that I'm still working on. And that's that one. That's for the part 2 of Talisman. In that game, I haven't really started that video. But apart from the fact, I'll just read you the intro to the game. And I'll just settle this camera angle right there on the desert. And if you're wondering, these are all like sand dunes. Your team of adventurers has been sent out on a mission to excavate an ancient desert city and recover a legendary flying machine that's rumored to be powered by the sun. Moments before arriving at your destination, an unexpected sandstorm forces your helicopter to make a crash landing. Now stranded in the vast desert exposed to an unrelenting storm, your only hope for survival is to quickly excavate the city. Find the parts of the flying machine and rebuild it for the escape. If, however, any of your teammates expire from thirst or the storm gets too intense, your whole team loses and you become a permanent artifact in the unrelenting desert. So, on your turn right now, so you randomly select your teammates. I am playing with, this guy is the Explorer, and every single character has their own special abilities, and this guy is the Navigator. I can play with up to, I think, 6 people, and then the game adjusts, like, see, there's, like, that's 1 for 3, that's for 2, and then there's, on the back side, there's more things. But this is the storm intensity, like, meter, and it will, like, show how high the storm picks up, and if you ever reach the skull and crossbones, you basically get killed by the storm. Now, what they mean by expire from thirst is each of your characters will have this, like, water meter, and they'll be drinking this water throughout the game, because every turn you'll like draw cards that will like tell you what happens. Like bad things will happen, like the storm will move around, more sand will pick up, and sometimes the sun will beat down and be unrelenting, and you'll slowly get slower to dying. So this is like your character's HP, and eventually your character will die. But there are a few places to get water. Like, let me uncover one of these sand tiles. You have like these mirages that there's like I think there's one fake mirage. There's 3 on the board, and then there's like 2 real wells where you can get actual water. So anyway, I'm gonna start. But first, I'm gonna tell you what you can do. So what you can do on your turn is you can do 4 things. You can move to an adjacent space, but never diagonally. You can take away a sand tile on your space or another space. Like take this off. On adjacent space, but never diagonal. Never diagonal. And then the last thing that I think, wait, what have I covered? So I've covered movement, uncovering these. The next action you can do is, say you're on a space with none of these doom tiles, you can flip your tile and see what type of things are underneath. Because you are trying to look for pieces to build this flying machine. You're trying to look for the boat, the weird compassy guidery thingy that like flies the ship, the engine, the solar powered mechanism, and then the propeller. You have to find all of those things Once you found all those, you guys have to meet on like a helipad that you guys have to uncover, and then you get to fly away. So it's really, you have to excavate every single like one of these spaces to basically win. And then last but not least, you can do your character action, which for the navigator, their action is to move they can move another player 3 spaces. And then an explorer, he can do stuff diagonally. So, I mean, that's pretty great. Yeah, well, I'm gonna get started. And there's 3 ways to lose, which this game is actually incredibly hard to lose. That's why I like Forbidden Island more, is because there's a little bit actual difficulty to the game. But even so, in this game, you can change the difficulty from Legendary, Elite, Novice, and, wait, let me see. Oh, Legendary, Elite, Normal, and Novice. Which, the Legendary isn't really that hard. But, I mean, if you play Forbidden Island, Legendary actually will give you a tiny bit of challenge, so. Except I've played Forbidden Island a lot, so I don't know. It's not really too challenging after, like, the 50th time. Okay, so I'm gonna get started. So, we're gonna start the game with the Explorer's turn. I mean, yeah, the Adventure. What is it? Yeah, the Explorer. It's the Explorer. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna move over here as first action. His second action, he's gonna flip this over, and he finds a gear and a cave. Now these are both important because the gear, you find an ancient artifact, plus this tunnel means that eventually in the game, like at the end of every single round, the cards will be drawn that tells you what bad things happen. And there'll be these sun beats down cards, which makes you lose water. If you're ever in a tunnel, I think there's only 2 tunnels in the entire game. You basically, if you're in a tunnel space, you don't have to lose water. And the gear card means you get an ancient artifact. So let's see what we got. We got the Dune Blaster. Now that means we can remove all sand from your tile or an adjacent tile. So say you're blocked up by sand because the sandstorm will move around the board and cover tiles, and your character can actually be buried underneath sand, so yeah, I'll just put that by his card. And he has 2 actions left. He is going, since he can't, is the only character in the entire game that can remove stuff diagonally, he's going to remove that sand tile diagonally. And why you want to remove sand tiles is because, look at this. If all these sand tiles are placed, the characters lose the game. So that's his first act. So that's his third action. And then his fourth action, he's just gonna move over here. So it's not, you can't really do much on your first turn, but still. Okay, now it's time for the sandstorm to move. Now this is the sandstorms thing, because like no player plays as the sandstorm. This just tells everything that the sandstorm does. And now since I set the game to legendary, we draw 3 of the sandstorm cards. So let's draw them first. Now first, the sandstorm, when it means like a block that, like, a block moving right, you take the block next to the sandstorm and you move it right. The sandstorm moves, and that slightly covers that one with sand. Now that's probably one of the easiest sandstorm cards you're going to draw. That's like a... But there are some that are like, there are some sandstorm cards where it like tears apart the board and adds a lot of sand, but that's probably one of the weakest cards. So let's see how much are, yeah, there's some like these. And since, look at this, the sandstorm can't complete its full movement, so it just ends before it can. So these 2 tiles move down. Now what's special is, you see how that card already had what's it called? A sand tile on it. Well, this one gets a, wait, it was only 2, right? Yeah. Anyway, you see how this one already had a sand tile on it? It gets buried with one of these red sand tiles. You put this on that, and then that means nobody can go into that space anymore until it's excavated. And that goes right there. And then I need to draw the third and last card. 2 to the right. Okay, to the left. I mean left. I sort of know my direction. That goes there.